Hey everyone, NoModMaster here. Next on the list at number 16 is Kingsport Lighthouse. It has an area rank of 45 and a height limit of 10 floors from the lighthouse level. So once you guys discover this settlement, you'll notice that the children of Adam have taken over the lighthouse and the crater right over to the left of it. But once you kill off the children of Adam inside the lighthouse, then you'll gain access to the workbench. So these guys are very hostile, and their gamma guns can kill you really fast. So I'm going to fast forward and show you what it looks like once I've gained access to the workbench. So don't forget guys, you will have to kill the glowing ghoul in the top of the lighthouse in order to gain access to the workbench. Don't forget about him, he's all the way at the top there. Now even though this settlement is just a smidge bigger than Abernathy Farm, it doesn't feel as big because it has a smaller height limit. Though 10 floors is still a great height limit, there's another obstacle present in this settlement, and that's that it's divided in half with a giant rocky cliff. And then the other half of the settlement is mostly in the water. So unfortunately, when it comes to picking between the two, I would always go with Abernathy Farm. However, there are some great features here, and if you're one that likes a building challenge, this is a great settlement to do that in, because not only do you have some fun water access that you can build over, you can also build over this cliff and figure out other ways to get settlers down here. I know for some people that sounds like a nightmare. I personally like settlements that are challenging like this, so if you're one that likes building, this is something you should save towards the end and build here once you're ready. So out here on the dock, you'll notice there's these radiation barrels. Scrap these so that they don't damage you every time you walk by them. That should be the first thing you should do. And then this is a really cool area. It almost looks like the settlers are trying to utilize this dock to have people come and visit this settlement, thus the boat there. And this part of the dock is collapsing. And if you jump into the water down there, you'll notice there's a pile of debris down below, which is probably why they started docking the boats off to the side here, because there's no debris down there. So it is really interesting to note that it almost looks like the settlers are actively trying to use this as a port. Thus the name, Kingsport Lighthouse. So if you come down here, you have another access point. It's like there's multiple levels to this beach area. There's like the upper dock, there's this lower dock, and the lower dock takes you down to the boat. And what you can do is you can obviously come and try to wire this boat up so that you can put some lights and make it look like it's working. It's one of the few settlements in the game that comes with a boat like this that you can build on. So it's definitely something worth noting when it comes to Kingsport Lighthouse. As you can see, the corner there is pretty much the edge of the settlement. So if you are trying to build on the water, you want to build on the other side of the dock or build in front of this boat. Just scrap that old little boat there so you can make some room. Most of the stuff, except for the fish, on the beach are scrappable, like all these pieces of driftwood. So again, I would build additional stairs to get up and down because there's actually a broken railing there. You can add a staircase right there to get up on that side, not just this side. And let's go up around the lighthouse here. You can see how steep the settlement gets right here. You really can't build much on this side. And then it is worth noting that you do get a lot of attacks coming from the beach and the driveway. So you might want to build some walls along the beach and driveway. But like Krupp Manor, it has some really nice rocky cliffs around it. So you may not have to build walls here because the enemy spawns can't climb these rocky cliffs. So that is one of the cool features about this settlement is you're kind of like up on a hill. So you do get a little bit of advantage if anything does come and try to attack you. Another interesting thing to note is you do have another permanent tree here, like the one you find in Sanctuary. There's a couple of these in different settlements, so those you can just, decorate with lights, put different things on, do whatever you want with them. They're kind of cool. And then let's look inside. So the main floor of the house is pretty much intact. It hasn't really been destroyed apart from some broken windows. So you can really utilize this space and turn it into whatever you want. I typically turn it into a house again just because it really does work well as a house. And then upstairs is where all the damage is. There's no roof, there's no ceiling, and thankfully the floor hasn't been destroyed, so there's no major holes like you find at certain settlements. So you can try to repair this, and I'll talk more about that in just a minute. And then up here is where the glowing one is. So this lighthouse is kind of cool too. You can build on these little levels. So there's like little gaps and stuff there that you can put stuff. I was even able to fit a whole vendor on here and allow settlers to still walk past it. So you can definitely try to utilize this space for different things. Up here, you actually have a great view of the surrounding area. So you can actually see a few different settlements. And speaking of settlements, the closest settlement to Kingsport Lighthouse is actually Krupp Manor. And that means you swim directly across the water to get there. That's probably why both of these settlements have a similar feel to them, because they're essentially neighbors. In this room is where you kill the glowing one. I usually use this room just to store valuables. It's just a cool little space where you can kind of come up and, relax, look at the view. I like little spots like this in my settlements where I can kind of just take a break from building and just kind of idle for a minute. I'm going to fast forward though and show you guys what I did to fix that house. So the hardest part about repairing this house was the roof. But let's take a look at the first floor first, and I'll show you the roof last. So the first floor is pretty easy. All you really have to do is pretty much just decorate this area. You don't really have to repair much of anything. So this area I decided to make into a little office slash bar nook. There's the main living room, and there's like a little reading area over there. And then this picture, I always refer to this as the Kingsport Lighthouse because it looks very similar to the one here in the settlement. It also has the beachy grass around it just like this one does, so I always feel like that picture belongs in this settlement. This is the kitchen area. Again, this area, all I did was just add some furnishing items and then I decorated it. The stove actually meshes into the wall next to it, and then up here, I decided to keep it the same. I liked it as a bedroom and a bathroom, so I kept the bathroom in the same spot and decided to repair it. The tall ceiling fan actually fits really well in here. It gives off a really cool light. And then the bedroom, I noticed it has green wallpaper up here, so I tried to use the green chest and then the green rug to match with it. If you notice, the room is 1.5 squares wide, so it does actually fit well with the workshop pieces. The key to this room and the ceiling is the bathroom doorway. You build that first, and then you can attach ceiling tiles to it. And those fit perfectly if you line the door up with the structure. So I'm going to take you guys outside though and show you what I did, because as you can see, part of the ceiling is lower, but like in the bathroom, part of the ceiling is higher because I actually made the ceiling 2 layers. So here on the outside, I decided to put a staircase here because it fit perfectly. And then this is a break station for guards that are assigned to the post up here. There's actually a guard post right here around the corner. And there he is. So there's a few of these around the settlement, so whenever they are assigned to this one, this is the area where they can take their break. So let's build stairs though, so that we can go up onto the top and I can show you how I built the roof. Basically, what I did is I just used that blank space up on top to put the antenna for the settlement. So this is my recruitment beacon. So let's just delete this for now, and then I can show you the main problem here, which is actually these beams. So if you see those 3 beams, you have to build around those. You can squeeze them in between boards, basically. So as you can see below, that's the original roof, and I built this roof on top of that one. And that was how I was able to basically do this. So as you can see, I used the half floor pieces from the warehouse set. Those were perfect. They were the only thing that snapped around those beams. I tried to use quarter floors, and they really didn't work that well. I had to use the half floors. So the half floors are the key to that. So if you're struggling like I did, hopefully that helped. One last thing to note about this settlement is that it does come with 2 beds and a weapons workstation. And that pretty much concludes my video for today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.